Good morning, children. Today I will be teaching you the second part of the chapter Tribal India Past, Present and Future. In this part, we shall discuss about the dormitories. So let us see what are the dormitories. These dormitories are the youth organizations which are centered in big buildings known as dormitories. These are the kacha type of buildings made of straw and thatch. There are separate houses meant for boys and girls. All the youth of the tribe pass their night in the dormitory. The boys and girls sleep separately. In the villages where there is no dormitory for the girls, they sleep in the house of some old woman. Such is the custom in Munda tribe. So somewhere these youth organizations have separate places for boys and girls, and somewhere they sleep together at night. So these are the youth organizations, but they are called by different names among the different tribes. As it is the most important social institution, so the tribe observe it as a rule. And these organizations are found in almost every tribe, and it is a part of their social life. Among the Nagas of Assam, these dormitories are called Morang, while the female youth dormitory is called Yo. Among Angami Nagas, it is called Kinchuki. In Uttar Pradesh, it is known as Rangbang, while among the Mundas and the Ho tribes of Madhya Pradesh, it is called Gitiora. The Orions tribe call it Dhumkuria, and the Bhuyan tribes call it Dhangar Basa, and the Gonds call it Gotul. So we have seen that the same youth organization means the dormitory is called by different names among the different tribes. Now let us see the origin of dormitories. So the scholars of sociology do not agree about the origin of youth dormitories. According to one view, they are residents of the ancient communal houses when the whole village used to live under one roof and there were no individual homes. According to another view, the purpose of the dormitory is to keep boys and girls unaware of the sexual relationships of their parents. According to Majumdar, the purpose of the dormitory is to gather the youths of the village at one place to save the village from the attack of wild animals and the village maidens from the attack of males of other tribes. Besides it, the origin of dormitory may be due to want of houses, the bliss of communal life and the development of tribal culture. So we have seen that there are different views for the origin of dormitories, but we can say that it is an essential part of tribal life. According to S.C. Roy, the tribal dormitories carries the following three functions. So these are the three main functions of tribal dormitories. First, helping in the gathering of edible things and consolidating economic organization, because all these things are taught to the youngsters in the dormitories, and it is a tribal art. Secondly, educating boys and girls in social and other duties and imparting them education in the matters of sex. Third is following the principle of endogamy, because the people of the same tribe marry within their own tribe, and it is a rule of endogamy. So in the dormitories, the young boys and girls are taught to be endogamous and keeping the movement of women limited and controlled. Means they do not want their women folk to go outside in other tribes. So these are the three essential functions which are performed in the dormitory. You will understand more about dormitory through these characteristics. So let us discuss the important characteristics of youth dormitories. First, this is a custom in the Muria tribe, that the place where the boys and girls gather together, they occupy separate places, and this is an essential function. On the other hand, the Konyak Nagas of Assam, the boys live in separate dormitory which is called Morang, and the girls live separately, and the dormitory of girls is called Yo. So in some dormitories there is different place for boys and different for the girls. Second feature is the dormitories are normally situated outside the village in the forest, but these dormitory may also be near the fields. Third feature is the life in the dormitory is based on certain traditions and customs which are followed by the members of the dormitory. Next, the age of membership of the dormitory differs from tribe to tribe, but as a general rule, it begins from 4 to 5 years in most of the tribes. Next, the boys and girls live in the dormitory till they are unmarried. But just after the marriage, the membership is automatically dissolved. Next, if a girl becomes widow, she can again enter the dormitory as its member. In the evening, the members of the dormitory gather after taking their meals at their homes. At the dormitory, they gather after fire, sit around it, tell stories, sing, dance and play, and finally they sleep. The members of dormitory are divided into two classes according to age, the seniors and juniors. The head of the dormitory is selected from the senior group. The juniors follow the commands of the seniors and receive different type of education from them. It is the duty of every member of the dormitory to keep everything secret about the dormitory. And the last feature is the members of the dormitory carry out several functions together. For example, construction of a house. Next, at the time of marriage or on the occasion of marriage, they help the family. Then At the time of harvesting of the crop, they help the villagers. So all these are the functions which are performed in dormitory, and these all are the main characteristic features of dormitory. But nowadays we see that the dormitories are declining day by day. So there are two main causes of the decline of dormitories. These are contact with the city. This is the first cause. Now the tribal people are coming in the contact of urban people, because some of the tribes are working in the mines, some are working in iron and steel industries as laborers, some are working in the tea gardens, and they are in close contact with the urban people. So these tribals are forgetting their social ideals and institutions, and they have started following urban culture. As the education is now being provided by the schools, the children do not go to the dormitory to receive education. Instead, they go to the schools. So this is the main reason for the decline of dormitory. Then second reason is influence of Christian missionaries and the Hindus. The spread of Christianity among tribals and the presence of Christian missionaries among them have adversely affected their youth cultural setup. The institution of youth organization is gradually weakening, which has led to social disorganization among the tribes. Because these Christian missionaries are educating the children of the tribal people, and they insist them to join the school, because they want them to be joined in the mainstream of the country. So they have lost their interest in the dormitories, and the people are joining the schools and other organizations of the modern society. So these are the two main causes of the declining of dormitories. Now let us discuss the impact of culture contact. We have already seen that the youth dormitories are declining. So now let us discuss the impact of culture contact on dormitory life. The impact of cultural contact with Hindus and Christians have resulted both in evil as well as favorable consequences. So these are the consequences. First is degeneration of collective life. Due to the influence of Western culture, many of the tribes have begun to hate their traditions and customs, which are gradually disappearing, with the result that collective life is degenerating. Second is social disorganization. This has led to disorganization of family and social institutions. The tribals who have converted into Christianity or Hinduism try to imitate the European culture or the Hindu culture and hate their tribal brothers. This has led to social disorganization everywhere. Third is economic exploitation. The civilized traders, contractors, and religious missionaries have also economically exploited the tribal people, misusing their ignorance. They have caught them in the net of indebtedness and robbed their money and land, especially the traders and contractors. Then the fourth impact is moral degeneration. The civilized people have spread gross immorality in tribal society. The poor women have been made to prostitute themselves. The evil of drinking and using all sorts of intoxicants has increased among the tribes. And lastly, gradual disappearance. The above mentioned evil consequences of tribal contact with other cultures have led to gradual disappearance of some tribes. For example, the Andamanis, the Korwas, the Todas and Chenchu tribes of South India. They have totally disappeared because they are mixed with the modern culture. Now, the tribal life is full of problems. So, government is planning something to solve these tribal problems. So, here are the 3 modern trends to solve the tribal problems. They are also called the 3 modern trends of tribal transformation. So, 3 ways are assimilation, isolation and acculturation. What is assimilation? Assimilation is the process where individuals or groups once dissimilar become similar and identified in their interest and outlook. Assimilation is one of the ways of dealing with the tribal problems. According to this solution, advocated by the social reformers and other voluntary organizations who are assisting and encouraging the tribals to assimilate themselves with the mainstream of national life. So, we can say that it is a way to solve the tribal problems, and many of the tribes have been assimilated to the mainstream of national life, like Mizo, Khasi, Naga. These are the tribes of Northeast India. They have been assimilated. Then Munda, Bhil, all these tribes are the best examples of assimilation. They have totally adopted the culture of the modern people or the mainstream people. Tribal culture and life, but by changing them into the frame of new community. The Christian missionaries on the one hand and the Hindu social reformers like Thakkar Bapa on the other have been trying to assimilate them into Christian and Hindu community separately. This approach has its own limitations. Complete assimilation is a difficult task. The tribals are not prepared to give up all their traditional tribal belief, practices and ideas, and any attempt to impose the external cultural practices of them on them creates in them guilt feeling, confusion and mental conflicts. So, though this is an idea to solve the problem of tribals, because they are the separate people, they are totally separate from the mainstream. So this is a solution to assimilate them into the mainstream. Then the second trend is isolation. Hutton, who was a commissioner for census of 1931, and Elvin have suggested that the tribals must be kept at a distance from the rest of the society. Keeping them in isolation in some national parks or reserved areas would solve 2 problems. Firstly, the tribals would be in a position to maintain their independent identity, and secondly, they would be free from the exploitation of the outsiders. So it is also a suggestion that the tribes should be kept in isolation. The champions of this approach are of the view that sufficient time must be given to the tribals to assimilate themselves with the rest of the community. And the examples of the isolated tribes are the Andamanis and Jarawas. These are the tribes who are living in isolation. So, by living in isolation, they can maintain their own tribal culture. Then the third solution is the acculturation. It is also an example of tribal transformation. So, what is acculturation? Where a culture almost engulfs another culture and changes it. The process is known as acculturation. It means it is the impact of one culture on another. This involves a wider and deeper cultural change in the tribes. For example, the Indian tribal culture is being constantly influenced by Hindu culture. So much so that some tribes are almost Hindu in culture. An example of this type of cultural change can be found in Gond tribe. Several factors have brought about changes in culture, like measures undertaken by government, communication facilities, spread of education, process of urbanization and industrialization, etc. So the examples of the acculturated tribes are Ho tribes, which reside in Orissa, Santals in Bihar, Orion, Munda in Maharashtra. These tribes have the influence of Hindu culture. Some tribes have adopted the traits of Christianity, like Nagas, Mizos, Kharia, Khasi. All these tribes have adopted Christianity. The process of acculturation is seen in the tribes who are working as laborers in tea gardens in Northeast, North Bengal, and in iron and steel industries in Chota Nagpur Plateau. So this is the second part of the chapter. We shall continue the chapter through the third part.